G'day guys, going to be whacking some blinkers on the 500 today. I've got these new click and ride second generation of them. I just got the sockets because apparently they're backwards compatible with the original plug-in lights, so it's a good thing. So I've used the original sockets before. Well, they're a really good idea and they do work well. The implementation's a little bit clunky on the first generation. They're really hard to mount securely to the bike. I found that the inside threaded part spins when you try to tighten the nut up, and they're not really well sealed. You get a lot of dust and water in them. Got these new ones to try out. They look like they're a much better sealed unit, and hopefully they've fixed the issue with the spinning centerpiece. So we'll see how we go. So here we got the original, one of the original LED lights. You can see plugs into the original socket. As you might know, there's a slot to stop them rotating, so you've got to have that lined up right on the bike. This is the new socket, just make sure it fits. Perfect. And definitely a much better looking unit. Apparently the new lights are a big improvement over these old ones, but I've never had any dramas with these ones anyway. So when you take the nut off, you can see you get a couple of spaces there, and the whole unit looks pretty well sealed up compared to the old ones. So as you should know, you got to have resistors with LED lights. So I've just got mine hardwired into the harness there. Makes it a bit easier, and you're ready to plug it in, plug the lights in and see how we go. So I'll just hook them up before I actually install them, just to make sure everything's wired up right. And of course not working. So what I actually found was that I don't know who's wired it up wrong or whatnot, but I had reversed the red and black wires and they worked. I don't know whether it's because the resistors are the wrong way around or what, but yeah, that's what worked for me. So beautiful. So you can see red to black and black to red. As long as I remember, that'll be right. So with the KDM, there's a little spot there that you can mount your indicators. It's, these guys only just fit in there, but we'll see how we go. We'll try and drill a hole as close to the edge as possible. I used a 9.5mm drill, a 9.5 or a 10 will do ya. So just drill your holes, and yeah, try and keep them close to the edge because of the size of the sockets. It's a bit of a tight fit. Now the first problem I found with this, as you'll see, is the thickness of the plastic on the KDM fender piece there. Yeah, there's not a lot of thread that sticks through, so to get the rubber plug and the nut on the outside is really tight. Oh yeah, you can see there how little thread is sticking through, and when you put that put the plug cap on there, there's zero thread. So yeah, I just couldn't get it on there as it was, so I ended up having to grind away on the inside a bit and stretch the hole out a bit with the drill just to get it a bit closer to the edge. And that's what they look like, all finished, all mounted up. Pretty tidy. So yeah, I used the X-Acto knife and square file just to get in there and thin the plastic down a little bit, just to get enough thread through to to get the nut started on the outside there. So now just whack a bit of tape around the wires where they go through the fender, poke them through. There I've got them all nice and neat and tucked away in there, ready to put it back together. Now the next problem I found, as you can see there, squished up against the top fender part. So when you push the light in, it just sort of folded the top down and didn't go in properly. So what I ended up doing was just slicing a bit off the actual lights there, so they can actually go in pretty well now. It was either do that or cut away the rubber piece, and I didn't really want to do that because I wanted to keep a good seal around them, so that worked pretty well anyway. Just trim a bit of plastic off there, and so you want to use a bit of thread lock on these guys too, because you can't over tighten them. I did actually over tighten one and it didn't work. It shorted out something inside it, so if you over tighten them, they won't work. So yeah, use a bit of thread lock, and I find that using like a 12mm ring spanner to to actually tighten them up, if you don't have a screwdriver big enough, that works pretty well, just to rotate the nut on there. And yeah, before your thread lock dries, you want to line up the slots, make sure indicators are facing the right way and they're both even. Fire it up and cross your fingers. Beautiful. So they're pretty good, and they're DAT approved. They're all the legal indicators and bright enough and whatnot. So that's what they look like underneath when it's all finished. So obviously when you get to the trails, you pull out that little plug that holds them in there, whack them out, stick the plug back in the hole to keep the dust out, and off you go. So yeah, pretty happy with these new ones. They're definitely a lot better than the older ones. So yeah, thanks guys, see you next time.